Hi, this is Mr. Nick Taggart. In this video we're looking at gross and net pay. So this should be coming at the end of all the wage stuff where we've talked about bonus, commission, overtime, basic rate of pay, hourly rates, etc. So I'm going to show you a couple of pay slips I found online. So pay slips have got so much information going on them. They've got names, they've got tax codes, they've got your income paid to date. We're going to be focusing on the right hand side of this pay slip here. So I'm just going to shove it out the road and just look at this right hand side. So on this pay slip, you can see lots of information going on. You can see that this person works 37 hours and a week and that they earn £10 an hour. So their gross pay is £370. In fact, they have these other things. They've got a £50 basic pay as well. So they think that they earn £420. But this is called your gross pay. Gross in German means big. And gross pay is what the employer pays. Remember, you don't always get that. There's all these other things coming off. So they pay income tax, national insurance, pension, student loans, and then other non-taxable deductions. And for me, like I would pay that. I pay that to my teacher registration. This could be something else to pay, like childcare vouchers or something like that comes off their wage beforehand. So then they have this thing here called their total deductions. And then down here at the bottom, we have their net pay. So net is what they actually take home. So think if you go fishing and you take something home and your net pay is what you actually get at the end of the day. And what they've done here is they've actually just done the gross pay and taken off all those deductions to get £258. So here's another little one. It looks a wee bit different, but you'll see the words used in this one. So we have gross pay. Where is it? So here is their gross pay here of £2,625. Here are the total deductions, and right down the bottom you have their net pay, and you can see clearly they've just taken off that £600 roughly to get the 2,000. So I would again get pupils to write this thing down. So gross pay is what your boss pays you. Deductions are all these different things: tax, student loans, national insurance. Tax, if you know what tax is, tax goes towards the government. It pays for your teachers, your nurses, your doctors, nurses, police, all that kind of thing. National insurance pays for your health care, like your sick pay or maternity pay. And then net pay is what you get left with at the end. So we're literally just doing subtraction sums today. We do our gross pay, which is our big pay, and then we take away all our deductions. And deduct makes sense, doesn't it? If I deduct something, we take it away. So let's get into some examples. Number one, Maria earns £2,375 a month. Her deductions are £532.10. We have to work out her monthly net pay. So you can use a calculator. This could also be non-calculator, so I'm going to do it without a calculator. I'm going to add some zeros on there, and I'm going to make sure I line up my numbers correctly. So we can't do 0 take away 0, we can't do 0 take away 1, so we're going to go next door and make that 4. And then we have 0 take away 0, 10 take away 1 is 9, 4 take away 2 is 2, 7 take away 3 is 4, 3 take away 5 we can't do, but we can do 13 take away 5, which is 8, and then that. So her monthly net pay is £1,842.90. So £1,842.90. As for our annual net pay, so I definitely need a calculator for this one. So our annual net pay is just that answer multiplied by 12. Why am I timesing by 12? Because there are 12 months in a year. So in a year, after all her deductions, she is earning £22,114.80. So that would be her annual net pay at the end after all her deductions. Okay, let's look at another one. Number 2, Dave works 35 hours a week at £10.30 an hour. He pays £73.65 tax, and he pays 5% of his gross pay to his pension. So let's start by working out his basic pay. So his basic pay was 35 hours at £10.30. So we need a calculator for that one. And it gives us a basic pay of £360.50. Oopsie daisy. His deductions, well, we know he pays £73.65 tax. 5% of his gross pay means 5% of that £360.5. So 5% is 0.05 times £360.50. Or you could just find 10% and half it. So 5% would be, rounded to nearest penny, is 18.025, so £18.03. So if we add those on, his total deductions are £91.68. And then the last thing to do is to get his net pay. So his net pay will be what's left after we take them away. So his net pay will be the £360.50. Oops a daisy. Take away the £91.68. I'm definitely using my calculator for this one. So 36, bear with me, gives us £268.82. So there's a bit of everything going on here. There's a bit of percentages, there's multiplying, there's subtraction. So there's Dave's net pay at the end of the day. So that is his net pay, what he actually gets after working on his wee market stall. Okay, question 3. This time I've got it in a kind of payslip scenario, but all the information's there, it's just not written in sentences. So this person's payslip, they earn 508 basic, £97 overtime. First thing we're going to do is we're going to add the two of these numbers together to get his gross pay. Definitely a calculator one, I think, but it is all lined up. We could possibly do it without. But this comes to £606.05 gross pay. Deductions, well, we need to add all these up, which I've already done on my calculator, and we get £187.28. And the net pay is just taking away these two numbers, which gives us, he's left over with £418. I say he, I've no idea who it is. Left with £418.77 net pay at the end of the day. Here's another layout of a payslip that sometimes you see in one of the popular maths textbooks. So this time we have Lewis Cavaldi. I wonder where I've got that name from. They're working in Sainsbury's. I always go back to Sainsbury's. This is just laid out a wee bit different. It's more horizontal. So the top row, we've got his basic pay, we've got his overtime, and this means he's got no bonus at all. So we need to work out his total wage. So you just add those two numbers together on the top row. So we're just going to add the 325 and the 26 numbers. So it gives him a total wage, it's a bit small for space, of £352.35. So that was his total gross pay. Then we need to add up all his deductions. So we're going to add up these three numbers, which gives us £199.94. And then total, we're going to do gross pay, take away the total pay to get what this net pay is. So if we take those numbers away, we are left with £152.41. So final net pay, £152.41. If you want to practice, I've got a couple more of those little pay slips. This one's a wee bit tricky. This has got a wee bit of backwards working in it as well. If you want to try them, you can, and then have the answers there as well. I hope this has helped you. Thanks so much for watching.